Yeah? Hi everyone, welcome at the Social Trade Fair. It's day 4 already. We have another live stream here coming up, and you can see, because of the materials, that probably it's going to be a different live stream, but I think a very important live stream. We're going to talk about some products from Dillewijn Zwapak. Dillewijn Zwapak is a company that has a lot of packaged material, but also accessories. Basically, you're a one-stop shop for a florist, but they also do a lot for growers, like packaging and things like that. And today, as you can see already, we're going to talk about sustainability, recycling, and things that are really important as a florist. Because how in the world today are you working with that? Are you already using the different elements? I'm just going to talk a little bit about the products. I'm going to show some really cool stuff. And I hope to hear from you what you do in your shop with sustainability, recycling, and things like that. And for example, what Dillewijn also has is these buckets. And we know them all. I mean, we have them. These are a bit lighter than the normal bucket, so less plastic. They're completely recyclable, and it works a lot. It helps a lot because if you use less materials to make this bucket, then of course it saves. Really important that it's completely recyclable, but they have something else, and I think that's really cool. These things, and this is basically cardboard. They call it octagon. I hope I say it right. I'm not the best with names. And this is basically a bucket made of craft. So as you can see, it has a liner inside, so it's waterproof, watertight. It's really sturdy and stable, and as I'm grabbing this, I'm also thinking, well, probably you can make some really cool designs too with them for an arrangement. I mean, it is a bucket, but why not put some cool arrangements in? Really nice product, and I don't know if you ever seen it. We'll show the liner again, but for me, this was really impressive because, to be honest, we need them, but they're not the most beautiful buckets, but they are already a big step. And then something like this that also looks really beautiful in today's market, I think that's really welcome, because what we see happening, of course, is that a lot of growers also are more on the sustainability, working, for example, with MPS, and all the materials that Dillewijn Zwapak uses are FSC branded, so it's good for the environment. They come from maintained forest, the material they use, so I think very interesting. And of course, I hope that you enjoy this too, because there's a lot to discover in the world of packaging, and I've been to the company a couple of times. And every time I think, wow, they even think of this, they even think of this. They think basically on all kinds of things. So I'm going to show a few things. Things like this, craft, really fun, easy. You can place a beautiful anthurium in, or a small arrangement. Also has that coating inside. So waterproof, maybe some bark, some details. And then already you have a really friendly looking arrangement that for customer is easy to handle, for you it's easy to make, and easy to sell, I think. So little things like this are always interesting. And of course the bags to carry your bouquets or your products already are a while in the industry, but also again, the bags with the special coating, and of course, that's what I like, the really long rope. Because if we have something big, a plant, then you need a bigger distance between what's happening here, the plants here, and your hands here. So little details like that, I think, for a florist are very interesting because the customer will benefit from things like this. Either carry it here or here. Less damaging, better product. Of course, they have more cool stuff, and that's why I presented it a little like this. Another really nice bag. They have a lot of different prints, also craft, paper handle, so really good. And I will show it here. And what we notice here in Holland anyway, but also in Europe, is that more and more customers are looking for products that are sustainable, are produced in a certain way, and probably as a florist you will notice that too. Well, at least I do. I get the questions. So I'm also very curious, do you also receive those questions? And how do you as a florist answer those questions? Do you have craft paper, or do you still do a lot of your bouquets in the foil, in the plastic wrapping, or is it all paper? And if so, what kind of paper? And maybe you have other smart solutions that you do locally in your shop that could be interesting for the other people and florists that are watching. So please let us know. Well, they have the bags, they have different types of bags with prints, and the fun thing is, of course, if you want to see their total assortment, and trust me, take a little bit of time, but if you want to see the total assortment that Dillewijn Zwapak has, you have to visit the website. Everything is online, and you will find a lot of really cool stuff. Again, also with the lining inside, the ropes, the handle ropes, works really well. And simple details like this, making that extra lip over, that it will never tear out, because that's also a thing. You don't want your customer to walk away with this, have you planned inside or something else, and it breaks. So just by little details like that, you can see that a company or a product is really thought about, and that helps us in creating in a different way. So some of the craft packaging for bouquets, really nice, with a little open print, so you can see the flowers, they interact with the paper. And even if we have that little foil on, it's completely recyclable. I know from Dillewijn Zwapak that even the ink they use to color products is a good one, and it's good for well, less heavy on the environment, and that helps also. So it's a lot of small steps that together will make a huge step. And we all know that the situation we're in, much more online, so really nice and solid boxes. So when we have our beautiful bouquet of roses, the customers coming, of course we want to have the customers in the shop. It's not always possible, but a lot of things are happening online. You have to deliver it, and if you ship it in a box like this, in a bucket like this, then of course you're already providing a lot of service. And we all know that flowers need water, but flowers also need food. And even that is covered at Dillewijn Zwapak. We have those little bags. This is the Vase Life. Really good product. Helps really well. It's just a matter of cutting it open, or they have a little tearing. I'm not so good at these things, but you can tear it open. Really easy. But another thing, and this is something I can really enjoy things like that, is they have that paper bag. And this is a bag, very simple. Also we're, again, on the right, made with the right paper. Vase Life, it's a pro bucket bag. So the only thing you do is basically throw it in. And no worries, it will dissolve. How easy is that? I mean, serious, that's good stuff. So all those little things help. Making sure that your flowers have the right nutrition, either in those bags that you can just put in your bucket, or the Vase Life bags. Of course, these are the things that you can easily give away to your customer. And I know a lot of florists are still saying, yeah, but it costs me money. Okay, we have to talk about that. I don't know how many people are watching, and if there are people that have a shop, but please give this to your customer as a service or calculate it in your price. I don't care, but this is not only good for the flowers, and in that way your customer will have longer lasting flowers and bouquets. It's of course also a moment when they do this that they think back on the flowers, but also the shop where they got it. So it's a little effort, it's a really little cost to invest with something like this, but it helps you also to connect more with your customer. And it sounds maybe strange, but it's true. So I'm curious how many of you are using the nutrition, flower food, and how many of you are giving it away to your customer. Really important to do that. Of course, when we have our bouquet ready, in this case I've made a bouquet with some beautiful roses because Valentine is coming up. And for me personally, sometimes I like to create a lot, but in this case just roses. Nice wrapping, of course we can wrap it in the paper, and that's a nice thing also. The Dillewijn Zwapak has an immense, beautiful, big range of all kinds of colors, thickness of paper, and again all the paper is FSC, so really interesting. But also the ready-made bouquet papers, wrappings I should say, come in all kinds of colors and prints, and I think that is really interesting. And of course everyone has a different taste. So for me personally, this red maybe it's too obvious, but then this one, I can show it a little bit here. I think this is so delicate, but it's also maybe the color. Really interesting. And of course for Valentine with some hearts. I'll also show it here. We have more cameras, so for me it's every now and then I have to switch, which is good because I can eventually show you more and better. Let's see if we can get it in. And maybe my bouquet is a bit too big because I was having fun with the roses, so it could be that the bouquet is too big for the paper, but we will see. And on the other hand, for me personally, I rather see a bouquet that is more tightly wrapped than a bouquet that is wrapped really big. And I will explain why. Because I'm thinking about the customer. Sometimes you see bouquets and they have a lot of wrapping around it and it's huge. And then the bouquet is somewhere in the middle. and the customer is getting the bouquet and he thinks, wow, that's huge, and then all the paper and foil and everything is coming off, and then you see a little tiny bouquet. So for me, also protecting the flowers, making some more compact packaging, wrapping is more interesting, because if I take this off as a customer, the bouquet will poof, fall open and I will, wow, that's a huge bouquet. Instead of taking all that wrapping off and thinking, oh, it's not so big. So we have our food, nutrition in our bucket, we have our bouquet in our wrapping, then we have, of course, a beautiful box. Let me check the size. That should work perfectly. So I'm going to put this in, and in this case it's going to be really tight. I will show it on the top camera. Hi everyone. If you have smaller things, they have this insert that you can use in the box, and it works really simple because you can just push a small pot in or go bigger. And I'm not doing it really neat, but you get the idea. Go bigger like this, and then it's more stable, the bucket won't shift, or your pot and plant combination will stay in place. So all those little details together are helping us florists to create more and easier, but also to provide better quality products and, of course, happier clients. But also in our own way of working, it will save time using things like this, or a bag like this, or even this one. And I started to say that Dillewijn Zwapak is basically almost your one-stop shop for florists. I mean, you can go online and just go crazy. Then, let me see, I have a little paper in. If you order your stuff, it comes in a beautiful red box. And I like that, because basically, you know, when you order things like this, you know what you order, of course, but still, when the mail guy is coming to your shop and you see this presented to you, you still have the feeling of, oh, cool, let's see what's inside. So also things like that, for me, makes floristry interesting, because it is there to help us. It's there to bring a better environmental-friendly product to our customer. And of course, we need to go in that direction more and more and more. And for some it's a big challenge, for others it's an easy challenge. I think Dillewijn Zwapak is helping us already in the right way by providing all these materials in the way they are created, manufactured, but also the way they bring it to your doorstep. So I hope you enjoyed this live stream. It's a different one than normally, but for me, I like it because there's so much cool stuff to find out there. So I hope you enjoy the rest of the week on this social trade fair. Please have a visit at dillewijnzwapak.com. If you have any questions, please ask them. If you have any tips, just write them down below, and we will see you next time. Bye bye.